Hey GlamFam, Linwood here, and today it is negative 9 billion degrees outside, aka 50 degrees. Don't forget I live in Texas. Anyway, if you wanted to know more about how to deep condition your hair, this is the video for you, so let's just dive in and not waste any time. I get this question pretty frequently about what is deep conditioning and how do I do it? Do I need special products to do it? And we're just going to dive into a lot of that, and then of course I'll go ahead and link you to some resources on the differences between leave-in conditioners, and conditioning masks at the end. When it comes down to deep conditioning your hair, this is the way of conditioning your hair a bit more, a bit deeper, and putting in the things that your hair needs in order to ensure that it thrives. So what I mean when I say that is if your hair is dry and brittle, it's hard, it's breaking, dry hair breaks. It needs moisture. If your hair is stretchy, it's gummy, it's not quite popping like it used to, or it just feels like it's overall weak, it's easily kind of shredding in your brush, it might need protein. So that's going to add strength. If you are in need of moisture and you're adding in protein, you may notice that your hair is getting hard when you're putting it in there, and it might even lead you to thinking that your hair is protein sensitive. When truth be told, you may just be putting protein in at the wrong time, or you might be using the wrong type of protein, because liquid protein is only for if your hair is basically completely falling out due to being overprocessed from chemicals, things like that. So if you're not in that predicament, stay away from the liquid protein. I guarantee you don't know how to use it, just leave it alone. It's a danger zone. When it comes down to deep conditioning your hair though, you might be wondering what makes it so different from regular conditioning and why is it so impactful. Standard conditioning is going to let that conditioner sit in anywhere from 3 to 5 minutes to do its job optimally, and then you'll go ahead and rinse with cool water and continue on as usual. If you're one of those that's letting your conditioner sit in for just a minute or just a couple minutes, I guarantee you're not seeing the full benefit like you would if you would go ahead and use that conditioner for the recommended 3 to 5. It's going to make a massive difference in terms of the outcome of your hair, just with standard conditioning. Let's say you need a little bit extra, some more something that's not giving, or your hair's been through a lot lately and it seems like it's really deficient and you really need to encourage a bit more in there. That's where deep conditioning comes into play. So how do you deep condition? And you can deep condition with a standard conditioner, or you can deep condition with a deep conditioning mask. It's going to be based upon the intensity that you need. So if your hair is in really bad shape, lean more towards the masks. They have a smaller molecular size and penetrate a bit deeper into the hair. If it's just something that you're trying to do to keep your hair optimally healthy, just as part of your routine, you can use a regular conditioner. It'll get you a good level of conditioning without going ahead and just overly doing it, anything like that. It's just a regular regimen type of thing in that instance. If you're deep conditioning, you may have different needs in terms of your hair. So I'm going to first talk about some standard deep conditioning, and then from there I'll talk about how you might want to cater that based on whether or not your hair is higher porosity or lower porosity, possibly somewhere in the middle, as well as some budget-free options. So what you're first going to do for deep conditioning is you're going to go ahead and shampoo your hair. Then from there you want to go ahead and rinse that out, kind of towel blot the hair some, and put your conditioner in. Don't rinse that conditioner out. You'll want to put it underneath a plastic baggie like a shower cap. But let's say you don't have that. You know, we got some budget-friendly options too, because I didn't forget my roots. Hopefully you didn't forget yours. We're going to get that bathroom trash bag. We're going to get that lunch bag that I take to work every day. We're going to get that tennis shoe bag. Don't act like you don't know. If you don't know, we clearly didn't have the same background. This bag serves 1,000,001 purposes. And what I want you to do is reduce, reuse, recycle. Take this here and slap this right on that head, baby, if you don't have a processing cap. Put that on up here, clip it here, and you get to going like you cute, okay? All right, because baby, you might not be cute now, but you're gonna be cute in about a good 30 minutes. Go ahead and get you one of those if need be. If you have a whole lot of hair or a really big head like myself, you might do a bit better to get you an Aldi bag. If you got a really big hair or even really big head or even more hair, you may just need a trash bag. I don't know how to help you, but you know, we'll pray for you. Put your name in the prayer list down below. Once your hair has been underneath that bag, I want you to go ahead and get underneath a hooded dryer like this here. Now, if you don't have a hooded dryer, there's some other options that you can do that are honestly a little bit more cost effective as well. So a hooded dryer is going to give you a even round heat underneath here. You can sit underneath that and be able to get an even distribution of heat. Why do you need the heat though? The heat is going to open up the cuticles of the hair, which are like the doors of the hair that let things in and out. Now when we open up those cuticles, it allows us to get more moisture into the strands of hair so that we can go ahead and benefit, or more protein into the strands of hair that we need. If those doors are closed pretty tightly or they're just lightly open, we can only get but so much in there. So by opening those cuticles a bit wider with the application of heat, it allows us to get those conditioning elements into the hair a bit better. Okay, that's the benefit of the heat. Your hair responds to it, and it's going to open that hair up to be able to absorb everything that you're trying to put on it. From there, let's say if you don't have a hooded dryer, you can take a towel, get it damp, put it in the microwave for just a few seconds just to warm it up, and then wrap your head around that towel, let it sit on there for about a good 20 minutes. take the towel down and then let it cool for about a good 10 minutes, then rinse with tepid water or cool water, and you'll notice a massive difference in the hair. That's an excellent option for you there. That's just standard deep conditioning. Now, if you'll notice, I recommend rinsing with tepid or cool water. That's because the same way those cuticles respond to hot, they also respond to cold. We're gonna close them back up so we can lock in those conditioning elements that we put into the hair, and that way you see the benefit longer term. So we wanna make sure that that condition is worth it, that we're not leaving the cuticles wide open and then blasting with hot water and rinsing out majority of what we just put back in there. That would be counterproductive. Does that make sense? I hope it does. But let's say your hair is high porosity and you're doing this regularly. If your hair is high porosity, you're gonna need not just moisture, you're gonna need more likely moisture and protein, because the doors of the hair are naturally wider open a bit more. So if that hair is higher porosity and the doors of that hair open a bit more, that means moisture is easily able to be received, protein is easily able to be received, but protein and moisture are also able to more easily be lost. So we're gonna more regularly need the application of those things. Using a restorative deep conditioner or something like that that has both moisture and protein can help, or you can always mix together moisture and strengthening conditioners to be able to give your hair exactly what it needs. Focus a little heavily on moisture, because usually I can add a little bit more protein if I need it, but if you put too much protein, it requires so much conditioning to get your hair back where it needs to be so it doesn't feel hard and brittle. Just trust me there. That's if you have higher porosity. Now for higher porosity, the hair's gonna more easily absorb because those cuticles are already wide open, so I may not need the same level of heat. In that instance, put the bag on your head, wrap your head in a towel, and let your body heat do the work. Don't forget, 20 minutes with it on there, 10 minutes cool down, and then rinse with tepid or cool water. It doesn't have to be cold, just as cool as you can tolerate, okay? Don't try to freeze yourself out. I don't need you falling and busting your head on the toilet and being butt naked with cute hair, although your hair will be cute for your future. Now, let's say you have low porosity, meaning that your hair does not as easily absorb moisture because the cuticles of the hair tend to be more tightly closed. If that's the instance for you and you notice that water tends to bead off of your hair really easily, it doesn't absorb things super quickly, and that you honestly don't need deep conditioning quite as frequently, your hair is probably in great condition already. That's fantastic. Low porosity hair tends to be extremely healthy. Even in its instance, it still needs the occasional dose of moisture, rarely needs protein, so you pretty much want to stay away from that unless you're having a professional do it. If you have low porosity, you can use something like a hair steamer like this here in order to be able to push that moisture a little deeper into the hair, because it breaks that water down at a more microcellular level to push that moisture in a bit deeper, to push that mask or conditioner in a bit deeper as well. So I hope that that helps you out with understanding that. These will be linked in the description box down below should you need them, as well as some different product recommendations, my favorites, all that fun stuff. Now, in the instance of that, if you're using a hair steamer, you don't need the bag. You may need a towel around here just so that way water's not running down your face, but you want the steam to hit your hair in that instance. So if you're using a steamer, don't use the bag, just sit underneath the steamer and let the moisture there do its job. I hope that helps. By now you're probably wondering, how often should I be deep conditioning? Well, usually I recommend that everybody is deep conditioning every month to month and a half at minimum. If your hair has been chemically processed or has been through a lot of abuse, you may want to condition a little bit more frequently. So it's just kind of based upon what your hair needs. If you're noticing those curls aren't popping like they used to, it feels excessively dry, things like that, it's probably a good time for you to implement a deep conditioner. Super easy way for you to have a self-care day, and it does not have to be a long, arduous process. You don't have to be stuck underneath one of these different apparatuses, I don't know. You can put that down below too. It doesn't have to be underneath a dryer or a steamer. You can still go ahead and heat up a towel, wrap your head in that, and let that do its job while you vacuum, wash dishes, relax, watch TV, fuss at the kids. If it's summertime, you can literally put your cap on and go stand out in the sun and play and let the heat do its job, wear sunscreen. So, you know, different things there that can all be helpful and beneficial for the needs of that hair. Nonetheless, I hope that that has been helpful for you. If you find that you've gotten through this video and you're wondering what's the difference between leave-in, conditioner, and a deep conditioning mask, you should check out this video right here. And if you got a little confused in that whole porosity bit and you need a deep dive on porosity and a bit of a breakdown, you should definitely check out this video here. I'll break down everything from product recommendations, how to tell if your hair is high, low, or medium porosity, and what you can do to be able to better treat your hair. Until next time, take care, God bless, and stay glam. You know I love you, boo. Bye.